This is the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show with your host, Mike Strasinger.
All right, sports fans, welcome into the premiere episode of the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show. I'm your host, Mike Strasinger, and this is Jacob Gholson.
What's going on, everybody?
We're going to be putting out new episodes of the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show every Tuesday, so please subscribe below and follow us on Twitter and Instagram. We're coming to you from the corner pub in the woods. Now, earlier we had lunch, and that was a pretty tough decision to even decide what to eat.
I know, there's so many good choices. I went with the Real Pit Barbecue Sandwich. It was great.
Good. All right, fish and chips here. Our daughter Sarah, my daughter, not our daughter.
No.
My daughter Sarah had sliders. How were the sliders, Sarah?
They were good.
All right, very good. All right, we'll be here every week, coming to you from the corner pub in the woods. On this show, we'll be covering all high school sports, not just football or basketball, whatever the season is. We're going to be talking about whatever sports are in season, all of them, boys and girls sports. I believe, and I hope everybody else believes, these kids are out there sacrificing. The volleyball, soccer, golf, cross country, they're out there working just as hard as football.
Yeah.
And I really think they deserve a shot or publicity or whatever it is we're giving them here.
Absolutely.
Now, like I said, I'm Mike Strasinger, and maybe you know me. Hopefully, you see me around town. Usually, I have a camera in my hand. We're trying something new. So, hopefully, you know me. I've been covering high school sports for 20 years, and I've covered sports on all levels, but I like high school the best. I think it's real and raw, pure. Yeah. It means so much to the families and the schools. And I'd really rather be at a high school game than just about anywhere. On the first three episodes of this show, we're going to break it down and go back and look at last year's winners in the fall sports: football, volleyball, soccer, golf, cross country, and then we'll look ahead to what our looks are for this season. So, with all that being said, I'm going to send it over here to Jacob. Now, Jacob, just tell us about yourself real quick.
So my name is Jacob Gholson. I'm a senior at Stanford University down in Birmingham, Alabama, majoring in sport administration with a minor in business. And I've been Mike's neighbor for like 15 years now, so we've known each other forever, and I'm really honored to be alongside him as, we shed light on some of these athletes that, don't typically get the coverage that they deserve. And as a matter of fact, I was in the middle of Middle Tennessee High School sports myself as a Hume Fogg Blue Knight alum, so I'm just excited to be here because I've got some experience in that field.
Now, did you play high school sports yourself?
I did. I ran cross country and I played soccer.
All right, and so how was it? I think didn't you make the medal stand in cross country?
So, Hume Fogg has never had a guys state champion until my team it was a long time ago, 2014 I think.
Okay.
Won. So we were the first guys team to win a state championship in Hume Fogg's history.
Pretty
so that
cool.
was a big deal.
Pretty cool. All right, so first up, Jacob is going to go over last year's winners in volleyball, and then I'll talk about who I think is going to win this year.
Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in, starting with Division I Class A. We had Loretto beat Sale Creek 3-1 for their very first volleyball state championship. Also representing Middle Tennessee, we had Watertown and Hickman County also making the state tournament. Moving on to Division I Class AA, Portland goes back-to-back, beating Knoxville Catholic 3-0 for their second title in a row. That was a big deal for them. Upperman also made the tournament for Middle Tennessee. Moving on to Class AAA, Brentwood beat Siegel to capture, get this, their sixth title in a row and their 14th championship overall.
It's insane.
That is the definition of a dynasty.
Absolutely.
So Ravenwood and Station Camp also made it to Murfreesboro from the tournament. Speaking of a dynasty, in Division II Single A, Knox Webb has one of their own as they beat Concord Christian in straight sets 3-0. So they won their sixth championship in a row as well. Moving on finally to Division II AA, Briarcrest beat Baylor 3-1 to win their seventh title overall. Harpeth and Father Ryan also made it to the tournament as well from Middle Tennessee.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Now I want to go over a few things. And the TWSAA is the governing body in Tennessee. They determine the classifications and who's in what region, division, and all this stuff. And it varies from sport to sport as to how many state champions we have in each thing. And as you saw there, we had 5 state champions in volleyball. But in cross country, there's 4. In golf, there's 4. In football, 9 state champions in football. And in soccer, 5. And so basically it breaks down like this. There's two divisions. There's Division I and Division II. And now it's a full, complete split. Division I are public schools, Division II, or private schools. And those private schools can give financial aid to their athletes if they want to. So with all that being said, I'm going to go into who I think is going to win volleyball now. I'm going to start with Division II. In Division II, Single A, I don't see any reason why Knox Webb won't win again. They're loaded. They're returning a lot of players. They do lose Kaylee Hames, a very good player, just going to Pepperdine to continue her play. But the Spartans will still have plenty left in the tank, enough to get their 7th title in a row. In Division IIA, now this is going to be very competitive. Baylor and Briarcrest met in the finals last year, but they lose a ton to graduation, where Father Ryan and Harpeth Hall from Nashville will have enough to, I think, fight for the championship. Harpeth Hall suffered a pretty serious blow, though, a few weeks ago when we learned that Quillin Wilson, their great outside hitter, has suffered an injury, and she's lost for the season. Senior year, she's gone. It's very sad. I'm sure our heart goes out to her.
Yeah.
But she'll get better and go on to big things. But Harpeth Hall still will have enough to get back, I think. There's her sister Claire Wilson, and then Jamison White up front. So, and then Father Ryan, coached by the great Ann Mullins of the Mullins family, Nashville's first family of volleyball. She's got them ready to go. Actually, I saw them the other day at what's called the Brentwood Blast-Off, and honestly, Father Ryan looked like the best team there.
Wow.
So they're ready to go. Division II, AA, very competitive this year.
I'm excited for it.
It's going to be really cool. And you'll be going with me now. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. In Division I see a repeat in all classes: Brentwood, Portland, and Loretto. Brentwood is still Brentwood. They lost a ton, but they're still very good.
Got a good system.
Oh yeah, Coach Barbara Campbell gets it done up there. What was it, 14 titles now? It's ridiculous. They're so good. Portland lost a huge part of their attack with Marlena Bullington when she graduated, but the Panthers will still have enough left, I believe, to go to the head of the class, if you will, of Class AA. And as part of our effort to reach out and cover more sports, a couple weeks ago I went down to the Summertown Smackdown down in Summertown, Tennessee. It's a play day for the teams in that area, and I caught up with Loretto, and I met their coach, Nick Quillin, and saw their team in action. Loretto won their first state championship last year. Actually, it's their first state championship last year. And I met Nick Quillin, and here's a little feature that I put together.
Awesome.
Check it out. All right, Mike Strasinger here with Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show. I'm here at actually Summertown Elementary School with the Summertown Smackdown is going on. This is head coach Nick Quillin with Loretto High School, last year's state champion in Class A volleyball. Now, Nick, why don't you just tell me about yourself a little bit, how long you've been coaching, your staff?
Well, this is actually my 3rd season coaching. I started off, born and raised in Loretto, went to Loretto High School. I actually managed volleyball there in high school. Went to Ole Miss for 6 years, managing, worked more into video. I helped, run some of their camps, that kind of thing. Graduated, thought volleyball was over for me, so I got a big boy job, and position opened up, and they offered it to me, and kind of went from there. And I'm glad I did it, because this is probably not my #1 sport now, and I love it. I love being around it, and it's that intensity and just exciting, super exciting.
And who have you got helping with you on your staff?
I've got my sister, Melissa Quillin, who is a great assistant because we're super blunt with each other, can tell it how it is. She's not afraid to tell me when I'm doing something stupid or silly. And I also have Tammy Huntley, who is my on-staff coach. Myself and my sister are actually volunteers. Tammy works at the high school, so she's really good about handling the administrative stuff that will drive me insane if I have to do it. So she's a great help. Plus, she also helps, coach if she sees things, and we take both of those into consideration when we coach. So great staff.
All right, now Nick, last year y'all won your first state championship in volleyball, Class A volleyball. It's Loretto's first ever state championship in volleyball. Tell me how that was for you and the school.
It's still surreal. I mean, like I constantly, when people talk about it, it's like, yeah, we did that. I mean, at this point now, it's super nice to have, but it's still, when you think about it, it's crazy, because now these girls can look back 20 years from now and they were the first Loretto High School volleyball state champions.
Very good.
So it's super cool. Super cool.
Now, I did a little research. Loretto has been to 9 state tournaments. You've won. Yeah, I mean, you've been there 8 of the last 9 years overall. 2 finals, 1 championship. So you have a little dynasty in brewing here.
Well, we hope so. We'd not. Before last year, it was kind of a running joke. My sister actually played as well, and she was on the team that was the runner-up in 2009. Okay. So, it was kind of the joke, well, I went the farthest out of everybody here. And so we won this last year. So she's actually been able to be a part of both of the finals that Loretto has had, including the championship. But yeah, we really hope for that dynasty. It's tough being from a small town, single A, so we're the smallest division in volleyball. So we don't have the numbers that a lot of teams have, when we're going. So we're very fortunate enough to have the ones that we have are super athletic, or they're willing to learn, they're willing to train hard and work hard, and as long as we have that, I mean, we're hoping, for success every single year. So.
Okay, well, last year, you graduated 4 seniors, so you lost, I'm thinking, a good part of your team.
Yes.
Do you have enough in the tank, enough left to
We do. The biggest thing this year is we have 4 seniors again, so we'll lose those, but we have 4 seniors, we have no juniors, we have 3 sophomores, but we have 9 freshmen.
Wow.
So our freshmen kind of outrank the rest of the team combined. So, it's a rebuilding year. We have some returners that are playing and that will step up, but those freshmen for us are like we're starting them out straight basics. Getting them trained because they're going to be the team probably next year or the year after. So we have the numbers to do it. We're working, building it.
Who do you think specifically could lead the way this year?
Well, right now, which this SmackDown is a good indicator of trying different things and seeing. And right now, we have 3 freshmen starting on varsity for us. We have Neely Gray, who is playing outside for us. Briley Dover, who is setting for us in varsity, and then she's hitting for us some in JV. And then we have Lainey Weathers, who's hitting right side for us.
All right, very good. Tell me real quick, last thing, just what this means, the culture here and building a little dynasty at Loretto. What does that mean to the community?
It's great for the community, and the big thing that a lot of this stuff we didn't realize until after we had already won. So we knew it was the first state championship, but it was the first women's state championship since 1958 when the girls basketball team won. So huge for that, that aspect of it. It's also the only volleyball state championship in the county of Lawrence County. So all divisions, we only have 3 high schools. We have Summertown and Lawrence County, but between the 3, it's the only one so far. So, it's huge for that, that broadcast of our small town life and everything. And, our biggest thing is we strive on team cohesion, bonding. We do things outside of volleyball because we don't want them to just be together out here.
Right, you're building a little culture around the school, and so the younger kids can see it and buy into it.
And we've started, doing kids camps and kids clinics and that kind of thing. So hopefully, like you said, they buy in earlier. It's a little bit tougher with volleyball to just pick up and go. Basketball, you pick a ball, you start dribbling it. Volleyball, it's a little bit harder to do. So the more we can start those basics earlier when they're younger, the more hope that they want to play when they come up.
And winning certainly helps.
Right, yes, it does. It does. It most certainly does.
Very good. Well, thanks. Well, we'll be watching the Middle Tennessee High School Sports Show. We'll be watching, and I really appreciate this, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, besides the freshmen that Coach Quillin mentioned, Loretto returns a solid front line with outside hitter number 34, senior Raven Chance, sophomore number 25, Carly Weathers, and making it all happen will be senior setter number 2, Jenna Huntley. So I think the Mustangs are going to have what it takes to make another deep run into the playoffs. That was cool. It was really nice to meet Coach Quillin and his kids. He's really got it going on. He's young, he's energetic, a lot of passion. They're going to do great. So why don't we go on to soccer now? Jacob, tell us what the last year's winners in soccer.
All right, Mike, let's go ahead and dive on in. So last year in Division I Single A, it was Signal Mountain over Merrill Hyde, 1-0. Franklin Grace also made the tournament from Middle Tennessee. In Division I Class AA, we had Beach over Seymour, 3-2. Nolensville also represented Middle Tennessee and made the state tournament. In Class AAA, Houston knocked off Collierville 1-0. For Middle Tennessee, we also had Ravenwood, Brentwood, Oakland, and Stewart's Creek, so a lot of success there. Moving on to Division II Single A, CPA beat Chattanooga Christian 1-0 on penalty kicks. Close, tough game, very exciting, and CPA won their second state title. Moving on to Division II AA, GPS sneaked by Father Ryan 3-2, and BA also made the tournament. So Mike, what you got for this year?
All right, I got to tell you, I don't know a lot about soccer. You certainly know more about it than I do, but I am learning, and I do love the way these kids try, how hard they try, and they're like I said, they're out there sacrificing just like the football players and everything else. Their parents, a lot of these kids play travel ball. It's a year-round thing.
Put in a lot of work.
Lots of dedication. So hats off to them. It didn't look like we had a lot of success out of the Middle Tennessee area overall. Beach did win in AA, but they're moving on to AAA, and in AAA. Then you're talking all the Williamson County teams, Brentwood and Ravenwood, and along with Oakland, Stewart's Creek this year. Here in Nashville, Cane Ridge and Dixon County are going to do well, I believe. In AA now, I expect Nolensville to get back, Page, Fairview, Sycamore, and Hume Fall, MLK, White House. They all did well in the districts last year, so I expect they'll do well again. They could get back to the tournament. In Class A, Franklin Grace and Merrill Hyde made the tournament, so they'll have a good chance to get back. Harpeth, Cascade, Smith County, Adamsville all won their district, so they'll have a good shot of getting back. In Division IIA now, you always got to figure Father Ryan and Coach Robin Dietrich. He's a TWSAA Hall of Fame inductee recently. He knows what he's doing at Ryan. He'll have those girls ready to play every year, always does. Now in Division II Single A, CPA won it all last year, and they're led by this young lady named Carolyn Betts. And like I said earlier, I don't know a lot about soccer, but recently I went over and caught a practice of theirs. I was going to do a feature, and you'll see in just a minute, of Carolyn Betts and her coach Tom Gerlach. And I got to tell you, this girl's a phenomenal soccer player, and she's one of these, like you see her, she's just like, oh, okay, that's how you do it. Absolutely. So here's a feature we ran. I caught up with CPA and Carolyn Betts and Coach Tom Gerlach. So take a look. So I'm here with Coach Tom Gerlach of the CPA Lions, coming off of a state championship last year. Coach, why don't you tell us about yourself first of all? Maybe a little bit of your background.
Sure. This is my 28th year of coaching. This is my 5th year here at CPA. Before this, I was at Christian Academy of Knoxville for 16 years. I coached the guys there. Coached in the WPSL with the Knoxville Force, a women's semi-pro team, and work a lot with the Charlotte Eagles and Missionary Athletes International, doing mission trips around the world that involve spreading the gospel using the sport of soccer.
Okay.
I also teach here. I teach 6th grade earth science.
All right. And who do you have on your staff here that helps you out?
So I have my wife, actually. She's one of the coaches, Jody Gerlach. She's one of the assistant coaches. Lindsay Curtis is an assistant coach for the JV. She actually, what was neat, she was a part of the very first state championship team here as a player. Wow. And then she was part of our staff last year. So she won a state championship as a player and won one as a coach. We have Rachel White, who's the head assistant coach, and she's been with me now since I came here and started here. And then Jay Wilkinson, who is our goalkeeper coach and an amazing photographer who works with Nashville SC and puts all our social media stuff on there.
Very good. Now, speaking of social media, I've been following you guys on Instagram, and I saw some team bonding type of thing that's going on. I want you to tell us about the team bonding. What do y'all do specifically, and the point behind all that?
Sure. Soccer is a terminal sport. Any of these girls will, at some point in time, probably 8 years from now, none of them will be able to play soccer anymore. It terminates. There's a time when your body won't be able to play. So what are we really investing in? Are we investing, if I'm making the best soccer player in the world, that's an investment that will stop in 8 years. But if we're investing in who they are in their walk in Christ, who they are as a culture, as a team, that's something that lasts eternally. We have a team verse in Galatians, are we here to please God or to please man? And if we're here to please man, then what's the point? Because God is the one that really is the one that we need to please. And so one of the things we really try to focus on is making a team culture where we're a both and, where we're Christ focused, we're sports ministry focused, but we're not sacrificing any of the level of play. A lot of times you'll see really good teams that really don't focus on the culture, or really good culture teams that really don't focus on the soccer. And I really feel that CPA as a whole, not just at soccer, but in football in general, have invested in the well-being of their walk in Christ, number one, first and foremost. Their identity is not found in what they do or their performance, but in the fact that they're sons and daughters of the King. And what we found is that really pays off, because you know that it's more than just a ball. Because if you're judging the success of your season on one game, then only one team's the winner, only one team's successful. But if you're judging it on, come as they are, but don't stay that way, they come out of your program as better men and women, focused more on their walk with Christ, then that's a success in my mind. And what's neat is we haven't sacrificed anything to do that.
That's great. So you do a great job with that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
From what I can tell. All right, we're going to get into this season a little bit. You had a phenomenal score in Caroline Betts last year. Now, besides Caroline, we'll talk about her in a minute, but besides her, who else have you got coming back that's going to help you get back to state?
So we graduated four, or we lost four, three from graduation and one is schooling somewhere else. And so we bring back 7 of the starters that played with us in the state finals last year.
Wow.
So that's a really strong core of that. And we have a really nice freshman class coming in, and then some girls that actually didn't really play as much, are really starting to kind of get their comfort zone out here as juniors. We don't have a whole lot of upperclassmen, so we have a really young team.
Wow.
I think we have 8 freshmen who are part of our squad, and then really heavy junior class. I think maybe 10 juniors. So we're really young, but a lot of experience, a lot of ECNL and SRPL players, so a lot of soccer history coming in there.
Sounds pretty potent to me.
Yes,
pretty
sir.
dangerous for years to come, maybe. All right, now let's talk about Caroline Betts for a second. She had some phenomenal numbers last year. And what makes her such a great scorer?
Well, I can tell you one of the things about Caroline Betts, which is I've had several college coaches call me and talk to me about her. In my 28 years of coaching, she is kind of once in a career kind of player, because she has the best nose for the goal I've ever seen on the girls' side. She's a natural athlete. She's just a natural goal scorer. But talk about one whose humility and whose grace and whose focus on the right things makes her a preeminent player. I've coached a lot of good players, but her humility and her focus on it's not just about her. I mean, she was up for Player of the Year as a freshman for the Tennessean. She was an all-state 8th grader. Like, usually with that comes an ego, and this girl is one of the most coachable, one of the most humble, one of the most Christ-centered girls you'll ever meet, and she's got like a 4.0 in the classroom. So she's the complete package, and it's just really neat to see a young lady who she knows where the goal is. I don't even know how she does some of the things she does with her footwork. I'll sit there and I've done this my whole life, and I think, I don't even know how she did it. And she just does things that's just amazing.
That's good to hear. Well, thanks for visiting with us, and we'll be watching.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it.
For those who don't know, this is Caroline Betts with the CPA girls soccer team, state champion last year. And she's just catching up with her here after practice. So thanks for being with us. Caroline, for those that don't know, is just a sophomore this year. But as an 8th grader, check this out. As an 8th grader, she had 36 goals. And as a 9th grader last year, she had 48 goals, including a ridiculous 7 hat tricks in a row.
Yes, sir.
So with all that being said, and the state championship, was that the CPA girls' first state championship?
It was their second.
Second, okay, very good. Now, about yourself, with these numbers, is that beyond your expectations, or is that what you think you can do?
I mean, I would say coming into high school soccer, I didn't really have expectations. I didn't know what it would be like, and I mean, I've just been blessed to have these numbers, and the numbers aren't really what's important to me. It's been like being with these girls. This team has been so much more than I ever expected it could be. I mean, these girls, it's a safe place for everyone to open up. We talk about Christ just so openly. Everyone with the coaches, it's just being with this team means so much more than just soccer. It means a community centered on Christ, and just really a place that after hard days of school you can go and just know you can be free to be exactly just whoever you want to be, and you'll be loved.
That's a great answer. Good answer. Now, this year's expectations, do you fully expect to get back to state?
Yes, sir, I do.
All right.
I'm for that.
Now, I imagine even at such a young age, you've been getting a few college offers. You probably can't talk about such things, but just there's people that want to know. Have the coaches been calling?
They have, yes.
Okay, and when do you expect to make any kind of decision, or do you just want to put it off for a while, or?
Well, with the new rule that's been made, no Division I colleges can talk to players until June 15th after their sophomore year. And since I'm a sophomore this year, I can't talk to them until after this year. So,
No pressure.
yeah, I think it'll be nice to just have this year kind of stress-free from all that, and then once June 15th hits, we'll see. I'm probably hoping to make a decision fairly soon after that.
Very good. Well, thanks for visiting with us, and good luck. I'll be watching.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I mean, she looks like a phenomenal athlete.
It's amazing.
Her footwork just, you can tell that she's put in all the work that she needs to, and she's just wanting to get better.
And
constantly.
she's just a sophomore.
Sure.
Okay. Thanks to Coach Tom Gerlach and Carolyn Betts and the rest of the CPA staff, including Mike Elson, the athletic director. So I want to really reach out here to coaches and fans, players, whoever. We don't really have a way of knowing who won soccer games and volleyball games unless you get the information out there. And I want to recommend Max Preps. It's a great resource for coaches. Many of you are familiar with it, but if you're not, this is a great toolbox where you can upload your rosters, your schedules, your results, everything. It's an amazing thing, and then it will help me and us get the information we need to talk about your school, and that's what we want to do. So help us help you.
Yeah.
All right. This will help all media. So like I said, Max Preps. I don't work for Max Preps, but I certainly go to the website, and I'm very familiar with it, and I really recommend it.
We want to feature y'all on the show, and the only way we can do that is if we have your information out there.
Exactly. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Now check back tomorrow. We're going to continue on with football and golf and cross country.
Don't forget to subscribe down below, hit that like button, leave a thumbs down if you didn't like it. We want to get better, so comment if you've got some suggestions for us, what we should cover, and we'll see you tomorrow. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MTHS Sports Show. We'll see you next time.